See that kitchen over there? It's pretty crappy and it's old. So welcome to 3619 Pershire Lane. This is my latest fix and flip. I just happened to be in front of the kitchen. And in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down a couple of things like I normally do for you guys. How I found the deal, how I'm funding the deal, a property tour of the before so you guys can see when I make the repairs based on my scope of work. And also we're gonna be jumping into the office so I can give you some hard numbers of how much I think it's gonna sell for based on my underwriting skills, the timeline, and then also the budget that we're allocating for this repair. So stay tuned, let's go into it now. All right, the first part in this video breakdown is how I found this deal. I leveraged my network yet again. I'm not spending a whole bunch of money on marketing. I'm actually just meeting people by going to meetups.com, Eventbrite, Facebook groups. You go to these meetups, people that host it, people that go there, they will have your answers instead of you spending a ton of money on mentorships. This was the advice that I got when I spent $38,000 for my first mentorship, and that's what they told me to do. That's how I'm able to find these deals, because I'm leveraging my network, saying that I can do X, Y, and Z, and I'm not spending a ton of money on marketing. So my buddy Gil ended up bringing me this deal. We're working this deal together. We're fixing, flipping this deal together. We're combining resources together to get this deal done and make money. All right, let's talk about financing. Since we've already bought the deal, I'm gonna go over how my private money lender was able to fund it. Since he's an older gentleman, he has a lot of money sitting around, kind of doing nothing. And his formula is ARV times 70%. So in the office, I'm gonna show you how I got my ARV, and you multiply that by 70%, and that's how much he's willing to fund. That also includes the renovation. Now we're short on renovation, so we're gonna be leveraging our network again. So you gotta build your network. I can't stress how important that is. We're gonna leverage our network to fund the gap, which is the renovation. All right, so let's jump into the part where I'm gonna take you guys on a tour of the property and show you guys what I plan on doing. If you guys want to learn my process on how I do these things, the video will be somewhere on the screen. So let's go now. So this is the outside of the house at Pershire. As you can tell, this is a brick exterior. The windows are already new, so we're not replacing any of the windows. We're just gonna dress up that bay window. There's one downspout right there, but there's no gutters along the fascia board of the house. So we're gonna add gutters and then probably another downspout in that location over there to the side. There's a lot of bricks that need to be repointed, so we're gonna add some mortar in between the bricks along, around the house. There's a brick right there that needs to be added, and there's a handrails that need to be installed to make it code compliant. We're gonna add a brand new roof to the main house because it's about 10 to 15 years old. And then we're gonna replace a light fixture right there. That's the plan right now. And then we're going to replace, there's a piece of wood underneath this door that is rotted out that we're gonna replace because water's been seeping in through there. And then we're gonna add probably a mulch bed and some flowers on the front of the house. And that's basically it for the front. Let's go to the back. All right, this is the back of the house. The fence over here on the left-hand side over here needs to be replaced. You're gonna get that dressed up. There's a shed right here that's in great condition. We're leaving that the way it is. And the siding of the house is fantastic, so we don't have to address anything necessary in there. Everything's perfectly fine. Now, if you guys can tell, the backyard is definitely really messy with a lot of leaves. We're gonna get that all dressed up. We'll go inside and you'll see along this bonus room right here, there's a lot of mold and like fungus or black mold growing because water is probably seeping into this. So we're gonna have to regrade all of this out. And over here in the middle, there is obviously no stairs coming down from these two doors. So we're gonna make it a deck right here with probably like another stairs coming down from the deck just to connect these two doors and just make it a kind of a seamless like layout. Over here on the left side where the HVAC, there is a rusted disconnect that we're gonna have to replace, but the HVAC unit is brand new. So, oh, and one more thing here, there's actually branches overhanging the roof, so we're gonna have to cut those branches down. And that's it for the back. We're gonna go inside. All right, inside of the house, front of the door coming through, we got hardwood floors. in the front foyer that we're gonna remove. We're gonna add LVP throughout the entire house, but it opens up into a very nice open concept, as you can see here. Large living rec area. We have a dining room to the right over here. We're gonna remove the drywall, not the drywall, the wallpaper, and paint it, add a new light fixture. The seller, previous owner, had a structural beam that sits on top of the ceiling joist, which is incorrect. So we're gonna have to correct that, make it structurally sound for this open area right here, which is awesome, makes it feel a lot bigger. We're gonna be adding recessed lights into this large living space, probably removing this fan here and then adding some recessed lights here. And then let's go to the kitchen over here. The kitchen is all gonna be demoed, all that's gonna be removed, all that's gonna be gone. No more cabinets, no more appliances. We're gonna add everything brand new. We're gonna remove this ceiling fan, add recessed lights, 5 of them, 1 above the sink, and then 4 here. And then all new appliances as well. In the utility room here, we're just gonna rip out the wallpaper, paint it. Luckily we have more or less newer fixtures here. Newer HVAC unit, looks like a brand new hot water heater, excuse me. And then we're gonna throw away these cabinets, probably add new cabinets. We're gonna add a brand new plumbing trim out or washer trim out. And that's really it for that. Then heading over to the fireplace here, we're gonna dress this up, paint it, and keep that antique fire stove, not fire stove, it's fire burning fireplace. And here is the door that has no stairs, so we're gonna make that connect to the other utility room over there. So we're gonna head into the hallway bedrooms. So bedroom number 1, it's actually really spacious. Again, just drywall work. We're gonna replace the light fixture with a new ceiling fan light combination, remove the carpet, and then dress this up. Really gonna be straightforward and simple. In the bathroom here, let's see if the lights work. They do not work, sorry guys. Light here, we're keeping the floors here, tile floors. We're gonna add a vanity, replace the mirror, replace the 2 lights. And up here, we're going to move that light fixture, maybe keep it where it's at, turn it into an exhaust fan. And I'm gonna see if I can zoom in here real quick. There's an actual wire that comes out there. We're gonna move that wire above the shower so you have a recessed lights. That way you can see where yourself as you're showering. We're gonna reglaze this tub to white and then add plumbing trim out. There's a toilet here that we're gonna probably keep, depending on the condition of it. It looks pretty good, but we're not trying to change that much in this bathroom. Then heading into, let's go to this bedroom right here. This is also a good sized bedroom. The walls are textured. We're gonna probably have to keep them textured or sand them down depending on the budget here. But as you can see here, this is almost done. We just gotta add flooring, paint, and then probably newer light switches. So in the master here, this is the master bedroom. Also pretty big, also pretty spacious. Got 2 closets. What we will have to do is move this vent a little bit over here just to make sure it's not blocking the doorway or either doorways. So in the master shower here, we got tile that we're gonna be removing the floor tile and the shower tile because it doesn't really match the aesthetics of this. We're keeping the shower tile the way it is. There's a light wire already there. And then this is the setup for the bathroom. We got a light vanity that we're gonna replace, mirror, and then vanity here that we're gonna also add, and then a toilet right there. And then this is the actual bonus room that we have to fix. As you can see there's like some dark mold that we're gonna have to replace or repair. So we're gonna cut out the bottom, probably foot of it all the way around the bonus room and make sure that it doesn't have any water damage, which I'm sure it does, but we're gonna fix all that stuff. Then you have the recessed lights in here that we're gonna add, and then obviously some steps to go with it. But that is the whole tour of it. tour is complete. You saw the exterior, you saw the interior. Now let's go into the office and I'm gonna be telling you, kind of showing you what I think the ARV is gonna be, how much it's gonna cost to repair, and then how long it's gonna take. So let's go there, meow. Yo, welcome back to the office. I got a lot of things to cover, so I'm gonna jump into it right now. So we are in the deal analyzer. You can grab the deal analyzer in the description below, so make sure you guys click it. It's free. It saves me a ton of money. Okay, so we're at Pershire Lane, right? 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1734 square feet. This is just your basic information that you put in. Our deal factor, I think I could sell the property for $335, and I'm going to show you why. The whole time's 3 months, so in and out within 90 days. These are my assumptions for the utility bills. It's probably going to go up or go down depending on how much utilities we're going to be using. These are the financial costs, my financial stack. So first lien positions at 70% of loan to value, or L or ARV. So whatever this times 70% is, that's what we can get for a loan. 2 points on the front end, meaning I'll pay 2% of that loan amount, whatever that end up being. And then 10% interest rate. And I'll go over how much I'll be paying here in the next couple of minutes. Our second lien position is for our renovation budget. We'll be borrowing at 12%, and I really don't know how much we're going to be. The amount is going to be actually probably closer to 15%. So total all in 85, and it'll be 12% interest rate. And these are my assumptions right here for buying cost. This is actually a lot higher than what it was. And then my selling cost. This is, I'm gonna be paying the buyer's agent 2.5% because we're gonna be using a flat listing on our side, which is about $250, $300, which is super easy. And then these are all just assumptions. Down here is my comps. This is a great way to show your lenders if you are looking for lending, and it gives you a very snapshot of the property that you're presenting to your lender. These are the comps that I end up finding. I've used Zillow on this, so if you don't have MLS access, you can use the free Zillow. So as you can see here, these are all within a half a mile radius of the subject property. And the best one that fits our subject property is this 906 Dogwood Drive. It's 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's about 100 or so square feet under than our square footage. And it's sold within 15 days. And the price per square foot is about $207 basically. And then it's sold for $332. So given the fact that we have over a little 100 more square foot than this property, I'm confident that we can sell it for probably $335 to $339. So that's it, and I can go over into detail on how I found these comps later in the video. All right, let's jump into the repair estimator. I'm going to zoom in here real quick so you guys can get a better view. All this information up top here is going to be transferred from the initial deal information page. So you have your roof. This whole section is broken down into two sections: the exterior and the interior. The roof, the gutters, finishes, masonry, painting, windows are all exterior, right? And then you have what you want to do with it. So we want to rip and replace the main roof. These are all guesstimation. This is like just these pricings are just down the middle. Like in my Richmond market, we have a like medium living cost. So if you live in a lower, more affordable area, then your prices are going to be obviously lower. And if you live in a higher location, such as New York, San Francisco, your price is going to be a little bit higher. So adjust accordingly to wherever you live. All right, so 1,500 square feet, I'm just guesstimating here, right? These are all just guesstimations. And so as you can see, I'm going down the list and adding in square footage or linear square foot. And then these are all just guessed, like I said before, and it's gonna just tally it up as I go through this repair estimator sheet. Very easy to read, by the way, guys, so don't be overwhelmed in regards to this deal analysis, deal analyzer. Garage, I don't have a garage, so I don't need it. Landscaping, I'm just gonna put a little bit of landscaping in there. Deck, I'm gonna add a little deck between the two doors in the back, as you guys saw earlier. I don't need to put a pergola. A wooden fence, I do need to put a wooden fence in here, but it's not gonna be too much. I would say 20 linear feet, so not much at all. 10 feet on each side for repairs. And then we go into the interior, okay, guys? So the interior consists of a lot of different things and a lot of different components, as you can imagine. We have painting, hardwood, carpet, tiling. All these things will have its own separate line items. And as you can see here, I'm doing that. So you can see I'm doing painting. I'm doing a little bit of laminate floors, which is LVP in my opinion. I mean, obviously it's not the same, but they don't have one for that. So I just do $4 per square foot. That's including labor and material. Tiling, I'm going to be doing a ceramic tile floor in the kitchen. That's like the higher end of it, but if I don't do it, then I'll put laminate floors in. So either way, I'm still getting a good range as far as a flooring package. Now here is a pretty cool part where it's broken up to either grouped or by items. So let's say you have a kitchen that's already pretty good and pretty renovated, then you only need a couple of items, and you can go down here and adjust the items accordingly to what you need. Or if you're like my property, you want to demo the whole thing, you just group it and give a ballpark estimate of how much it's going to cost. Same with the appliances as well. You can do appliances, just group it. I normally just add new appliances because it's a lot easier. Then we have the same thing for bathrooms. We can group it, or we can do it by the items. I'm going to be grouping mine. So I just kind of allocated $4,125 for the bathroom because it's really not that much. It's just a bunch of vanities. I need to add lighting and floor tile and then kind of reglazing it, as you guys saw earlier. And then the interior continues. So it's really like self-explanatory as you go down the list. So it's nothing crazy. You have framing, you have insulation, walls, doors, trims, basement, foundation. So you can go ahead and mark the things that are needed for your project based on what you see here. And if you don't know what it means, you can always just Google it, by the way, guys. All right. And then you have the mechanicals, which is also one of the more important parts of a house and the more expensive parts too as well. You have HVAC, you have plumbing, you have electrical. So these are basically self-explanatory. Just mark the things that you need and then move forward. And all this information is going to be tallied up at the bottom, as you can probably see here in a second, right here, subtotal. And then if you don't see the things that you need to repair, you can always put it in the extra. Like I have pest control here for $250 because I have a rodent issue in there, like all houses that are vacant and not lived in for a while. So I need a pest control. You have your permitting, you have like also your demo work, and you have your dumpsters, you have fungus and mold remediation down here. So I'm estimating to be right around $55,775. And I also like to add in a 10% contingency on top of that, just in case an oh shit moment happens. So my total repairs, if I have an oh shit moment added on to my repair cost, is around $63,000. And what does that even actually look like as a profit standpoint? So in your deal analyzer, on the second tab from the first one, I wouldn't say crazy, but you have like a dashboard looking kind of thing. And from here, it tells you the breakdown of everything. How much you're paying in lender fees, how much you're paying in holding costs, potentially attorney fees, selling transactions, whatever. So at the end of the day, it gives me a projected net profit of $33,000. And that gives you roughly around an 11% return on investment for the 3-month period that you're going to be looking to fix and flip this property. And it also gives you some other financial snapshots down below, which is a great way to show your investors that you've done your due diligence. And so I went over the repair estimator, and it's very easy. I went over how long we think we're going to take to get this thing done, about 3 months, and let's go over the comps now. So if you have Zillow, then you can just Zillow your property address, and your property address will pop up. This is the property that we just bought, and you can scroll down and you can actually look at some of the comps in the area right here. So you have a map right here that you can scroll out here, and you can look at the yellow dots. And it tells you what's sold in the area. Or you can go to this map here too. But like, let's go to the yellow dots real quick. You can see what's sold in your areas. If you really want to do like a fine due diligence, like comb over, or you can just scroll up at the top as you saw earlier, and you can see that these houses are numbered. I think this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and so forth. And so, like I said before, this property right here, Dogwood, is the most similar property to ours. And if we can just kind of scroll in right here, this is number 4. So it's like basically a neighborhood, 2 neighborhoods behind our subject property, number 3 too, as well as a property behind our neighborhood. So these two would be the best comparables for our property. So let's go there right now for Dogwood. As you can see, this is clearly a renovated property. It's got, interior gray wall paint. It's got recessed lights, new flooring, new kitchen, new appliances, new countertops, and it's obviously staged, right? So you can obviously see that this is a really good comparable for our subject property to go off of. And that's kind of how I got my $335 to $339 price point in regards to our subject property. Now, we can make some adjustments. We can make improvements, and the things that I like to do to bring my ARV up, my after repair value, is to maybe add a kitchen island if it's needed. We have a lot of dead space, as you guys saw in the video walkthrough, between the kitchen and the living room. So I'm getting quotes on putting a kitchen island in between that space so it's not so empty. Furthermore, in the bathrooms here, people don't do this. Not a lot of flippers do this, but they don't have like an LED mirror, and you can buy those things on Amazon for very, very inexpensive. It's like $100, but like $100 to also add wire. So your total cost
for it. It's $200, but it can add so much more return on investment for you and an ROI. And as I'm looking through these properties, right, I'm looking at what they did to each room. Like they put a ceiling fan and a light combination in here. New floors, obviously, everything's more or less new. So I'm going to be doing the same thing. It's just simple as that. The master bathroom looks like it's tiled, which is fine. I have tiled in both my bathrooms, so I should command a better premium as far as price is concerned. I have a shed, they have a shed, so that's perfect. So I'm basically matching 1 for 1. And if I can add a little bit of value here and there to bring up my ARV, I'll do that. So that's it for this, guys. You guys seen how I'm comping these properties. You guys seen the repairs and how I'm leveraging this deal analyzer. And so it just makes the most sense for me to continue to do what I'm doing. So let's just jump back into the house and I'll finish the rest of the video.
Hey, that is all the information that I can possibly give you on the video, but I have a free resource, a free fix and flip course on my YouTube, so check that out. And if you don't want to watch it, that's totally cool. I have a community for you. The link is in the description below, where I teach on a weekly basis to help you and your fix and flip business, so check that out. And if you found this video valuable, make sure you give me a thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.